sorry. These kids, man. I'll tell you what.
Oh,
It's just like I love them, but like you know how it's like light outside now, you know, and
hmm
so like we're just outside till like 7:30, and then trying to get them to like wind down. And like half the time they don't want to eat dinner, so we're just like eating at like 8 o'clock at night, then trying to get into bed.
yeah, that seems like a whole ordeal. Yeah, Leon he wants to be outside all the time. As soon as we get back from daycare, he's like outside, or when we get back from a walk, he's like, "All right, let's go back outside. I'm ready. Let's do it."
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
Which
just
is like awesome, but at the same point,
yeah,
it's uh yeah, it's
yeah.
funny.
Sometimes it's like I have to cook dinner or something, buddy.
Oh, and you're like
Like we
starving and
can't
you're
just be
starting to
outside
get
all
like
the time.
hang you're starting to get hangry too. It's the worst.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect storm.
But
Perfect storm.
in order to enjoy the podcast more, I have set myself up with a
Oh,
little Dewar's 12-year blended scotch.
I like it. I just had a little Captain and Coke.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, so that's the drink of choice in the winter. And then summer it's a lot of like vodka water with like a splash of juice or something, you know.
I like that. I'm a tequila guy, but I mean,
Oh,
I-
same.
I'm with you though. Dude, like the cucumber vodkas, super refreshing. Have you ever had
Ooh,
those?
I mean, I feel like I've tried them once. I don't love cucumber, but I remember shots of them were like, okay, this is all right.
Yeah, dude,
But
you get some of those. I'm not a cucumber fan either. I don't think I ever eat cucumbers. I,
yeah,
I People that do that it's interesting. But
yeah, it's like just go all the way and just eat a pickle. Like, come on. And pickles are bomb. I love pickles. Oh boy. But
they might be my least favorite food.
really,
Yeah, I can't stand them.
I mean, I get it. They're weird. They're very weird. They have a weird smell, weird texture, very like distinct taste.
Yeah, it's too much for me. And they ruin burgers, like for me, you know?
I
Can't
mean, if
do
you don't, well, yeah. I mean, if you don't like them,
it.
I love a good two pickles on a chicken sandwich or a burger.
Just
Like,
just two.
I mean, ideally, I don't need that many.
Dude, I was gonna say I saw Katrina posted a picture of you guys at the pool. You're looking pretty svelte, dude.
Oh,
See you.
uh,
See you, dude.
oh, thank you. Yeah, been yeah, man, just been getting after it. I really like going to the gym and just being at the gym. And
How
shit,
often how often do you go into the gym?
prob about 3 times a week, I'd say.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's nice because so I mostly go one day before I go pick up a Leon from my parents' house. So I five some time there because the gym's on the way to work. So I'll just work, gym, then go swoop him, and
Nice.
then that partner gym is close to us as well. So it's like a 5 minute drive. So I'll just go at night
Oh,
sometimes too.
hell yeah. So
Yeah,
what do you do for your workouts? Like, do you pre-plan or are you kind of like, let's just see what I'm feeling today and get after it?
I started just like a very basic one like a few years ago, just like arms, like press, pull things, and then we just add more weight and add more exercises as I just learn and progress. But I mostly do like an arm day, a leg day, and then an ab day, and like just some cardio stuff. But
Nice.
sometimes the third day is on like the weekend, and sometimes I'll just push the sled or go and like do some light cardio or just walk, and mostly just listen to music and just move around a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. Like I was lifting a lot, but then I hurt my back the other day. Like one of those like where it's not really hurt, but like you get like a knot in your back that you cannot get out, and it just is like
Oh,
debilitating. And
yeah.
so I had that. So then I've been doing incline walking. So like I'll
Oh,
do like 30 to 40 minutes of like just incline walking. I wish I had a Stairmaster. Get some
yeah.
stairs in.
The clutch. They're
Yeah.
really, really clutch. But I'd say the biggest thing is I've started to run some, just doing like a mile, which could like I never ran like at all. So just like even doing some for like a year or 2 years, my body was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of lucky because at work I'm mostly just in my truck, so I'll just pack a lunch, most like the same thing every day, like almonds, some turkey cheese.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's
That's
mostly it.
pretty
And then just
simple.
cooking and just trying to be healthier.
Yeah. I know. I'll go through like stretches where my diet's just shit. Like not like food wise. I'm a dessert fiend. Like the sweets get me, dude.
Uh,
And you
oh,
get that sugar addiction and it's like hard to break it. It
yeah,
sucks.
yeah.
But
Sugar is damn good. Like, what's
yeah.
your what are some of your favorites?
Oh, dude, like if I had to, like, I mean, I feel like you can't ever beat like a really good chocolate chip cookie. Like, you know what I mean? Like a top-notch one. But
Yeah,
if I was going like probably like a really good like puppy chow, you know? Yeah.
yeah,
It's like I love chocolate, I love peanut butter, and then you get the powdered sugar on there with the crunch. It's like, come on, man.
yeah, yeah. Have you ever put your puppy chow in the freezer? It's bomb.
Well, now I feel like I gotta try that like
Yeah, I like it a lot.
tomorrow.
I like it a lot. And
Shit.
so do you make it or buy it? Because I don't know like which
Uh,
brands
I
to trust.
I have not found a good like brand, so we make it every time.
I know that's what. Yeah, I'm the same way. I feel like that's why I don't eat it because I've never gotten it that good at the stores. And then my mom used to make it, so
Yeah, dude,
and
you buy it from the
obviously,
store, and they just like glaze the cereal and then put a light layer of powdered sugar. You're like, what the fuck is this?
yeah,
Like,
it's not the same thing.
if I'm cheating, like I want to cheat, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh
But
man, I do love making just some cereal bars. There's some cereal marshmallows and butter,
uh
and then just cooking it up like
yeah,
the pebbles are
that'd be
bomb
nice.
and
We
the
should
cinnamon toast
make
crunch.
we should make like a protein puppy chow, like a healthy puppy chow.
Ooh,
You know how they have like protein chips now, and like there's obviously
yeah,
protein candy bars that probably aren't even really that healthy anyways, but I feel like you could do like I would eat it all the time.
yeah. Some sort of good mix. Use like an oat or some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it could
I
be fun.
I mean I should probably focus on the business I have now, but
But just
and the
keep it
other
there. You know?
three I want to start too.
But it's there. We know this.
It's always there. Yeah,
It,
protein donuts was one that I thought about.
ooh, yeah, that'd be nice. And I feel like it could be doable too.
Yeah.
Just imagine like a dense little cake thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Protein. Get some
Hue.
whey in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, plant-based protein. Like, have you ever had pea protein? Have you ever tried it?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's the worst. It is terrible.
I've tried Katrina's. I remember I tried her plant protein stuff once when she had some, and I think I literally spit it out. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, I've gone back to like just your standard whey protein. Like, I've tried the other ones and they're horrible. I can't do them.
Yeah, yeah. Just give me some whey and I'm good to go.
Well, dude, I appreciate you staying up late to hang with
Yeah,
me.
no worries. I just stayed up too late the past two nights, and fortunately, so I knew I was like, I gotta do it, but yeah, fine.
Well, let's
Yeah,
get right into it. Though my topic was like just the state of society. And I wanted to get your take because for me, like every article that comes out, like from the government and like the politicians and all this stuff, you read the comments under it and people are like pissed. They're not happy. Like everybody's frustrated and annoyed. And I'm like, is that just like like what I'm seeing because those are the people that I follow and shit like that? Or are you kind of experiencing the same type of vibes?
no, yeah, that's yeah. There's a lot of that going around. Well, when it comes to the comments, I've never really tried to even read them a ton. But
Sure.
then I've heard that a lot of them are bots and just not real accounts. And
Yeah,
then I heard that it was up to like somewhere like 50 to 70% of like X accounts or Twitter accounts could be bots. So something where it's crazy.
I I could see that. I could see that. But like, all right, so like I follow like there's a couple podcasts that I follow and they'll play like clips of people and it's like all kinds of different demographics and stuff like that. And I talk to other people just like in normal day life. Like I don't know how many people you interact with daily, like in your job, or how many political conversations you have.
Right.
But like even if you don't try to get into it, someone's like, it's fucking inflation or yeah, everything's costing more. You know what I mean? There's just like all this little shit. And then
Yeah, yeah.
and I get frustrated because it's like this they just passed that foreign aid bill or whatever, which sent like another $60 billion to Ukraine, another fucking 20 some million. We've got the immigrant crisis and issue. We've got all this shit going on. The only other candidate option is on trial for like 100 fucking indictments. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And you feel like helpless. You can't do shit about it.
Yeah, I don't even. I kind of agree with what you're saying. Like just hearing bringing all that, it's like, yeah, that kind of checks out. I will say, it's definitely not as bad just walking around in person, but that does the cost of things comes up a lot. Like that is one that comes up a lot.
Right.
It's just the price of stuff,
Well,
and
I mean,
just
it's
in
ridiculous.
yeah. Cause
Well,
so many eating chips, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this cost me $5 or something." And like, yeah, it's crazy. You know how much this was? Where? What? How much? That's crazy. Yeah. So I mean, I kind of
so I've always fallen in the like, all right, so when Trump got elected the first time, right, in 2016, and everybody was like, I'm fucking moving. Trump's the worst, right? And it was like, those 4 years were pretty good. Like they turned out pretty good. So like I've always been kind of like, how much does it really matter? But once I had kids, I started to kind of like pay more attention to it, you know, like for the future. Like I'm not too worried about me, but like where are we going from my kids' standpoint, right? Like what are we when they become adults, like what are things going to look like? What do I want to see out of society and all that? And you start to look at the different laws they're passing. I mean, dude, we pay, like, I know everybody loves to complain about taxes, but it's actually a real fucking thing. Like, they want to raise it even more on capital gains tax to pay 44%. So, like, if you make money by investing money, which is what they want you to do, you pay taxes on the money before it gets invested. Then you have to pay taxes if you make any money on your investment. You have to pay half of that goes to fucking taxes. And then,
yeah.
and you're paying taxes to buy. your groceries, which are already going up in price. You pay taxes on your gas. You do the work, you pay income tax. If you own a home, you pay property tax. It's like we don't even fucking get any of the money that we take home. Like they're like, well, your income tax is 25%. Yeah, what about all the other shit? Come on. You know what I mean?
But yeah,
And they
and
want to raise it again, and then they're also proposing a 25% unrealized gain tax. How the fuck? Like that's just like abuse of power. Like if that gets passed, it's like who in their right mind? Hey, you haven't made this yet, but we
yeah,
want some of that. We want just in case you do. Like come here. Like I get so
yeah,
frustrated. It's frustrating as hell.
yeah, and it's just there's these things that are being passed that are just so crazy, and it seems like there's so much just weird, crazy stuff going on all the time, and it's just kind of like, why is all of this happening? Just
Dude, did you see
you know,
have you
is there
seen
like is there a reason? You know what I mean? It's
all right, I'm
very
gonna send you so because I know you're open-minded, which is what I think everybody should be. You should have your opinions and your stances, but also be open-minded to things, right?
oh yeah,
I love a good conspiracy theory, but I'll
oh yeah,
also like understand when this is pretty far-fetched, but I'm choosing to believe in it because I think it's fun.
oh yeah,
But when you start to connect the dots on a lot of things, there's two documentaries on Amazon. They're like $5 or $6 to rent or buy or something. It's called Agenda and Agenda 2. So it's this there's this politician from way back in the day. These are older documentaries. I don't know when he originally came out with them. But basically he's talking about this. It's this long standing, maybe since back in the 60s, like plot to get us to be a communist country. And if you lay out, like, there's a couple books that lay out, like, how to turn a democracy into a communist country, like old books. And then you start to follow kind of what's happening. And it's like, I mean, it's possible that there's this, like, behind the scenes agenda to turn us into that. Like, it starts with pushing socialist agendas and basic income, basically turn every citizen into government dependency. And then you can make it a communist country, and then we're fucked.
yeah, okay, yeah. So that's funny. Who was it? I've heard somebody talk about those documentaries, Agenda and Agenda Two,
Uh,
and then so I'm gonna put on the tinfoil hat as well.
you
So
should.
with all like the borders opening and just like the free speech stuff and people being so scared to like talk their mind, almost where people want censorship in a way that seems, and it seems like that could lead down to people wanting to show, no, no, I'm good. Like here's my number, and that number is basically a social credit score. And then if they could see everything you tweet, and then to sidetrack, you know how there's a push to get everyone in electric cars,
Yeah, yeah.
which are very easy just to control because they're computers.
Shut down.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, oh, you said what about which company? No, you're not gonna drive for a little bit. So just that kind of stuff. It's
You're
like
listening
how,
to what podcast in your car?
yeah,
Shut
it's just
down.
that's an example of, yeah, yeah. So that I heard on JRE, but that's just like a good example of like, oh yeah, things just could lead to,
Well, and think about this. What, right? So I know neither of us have been like big political people in the past, but what's a big topic, right? It's always taxes, right? Like when a new presidential candidate is running, like they're like, we're gonna cut taxes. We're gonna save you money. So Joe Biden's running in November, right? If he makes it that long.
that's so funny.
But he's proposing a unrealized capital gains tax bill. He's proposing a 44% capital gains tax rate. And it's like, what? It makes you question, like, do they know that they're going to win this election? Like, that side? Why would you do that?
Yeah, there's some weird.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy,
some
man.
stuff that just does not make sense. And then since we're in it, I listened to Joe Rogan had Tucker Carlson on his
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, I listened to that one.
Yeah, which was just interesting. Yeah, the guy just seems like a quirky, like smart, just weirdo.
He is an
Like
oddball. He is an
just
oddball
like
for
an
sure.
oddball. You know what I mean? But like, I always thought that he was just like this thing, but I didn't really know. Like, I didn't know what he really did, but I knew that he was on Fox News and talked. And then I just
Yeah.
kind of heard people told me what they thought, so I was like, oh. And then I just heard him talk for 3 hours and was kind of like, okay,
Dude,
seems kind of like neutral and things, like, you know what I mean?
if you
But
think
still,
if you think the media is biased and like Fox News is very like Trumpy, right?
yeah,
But they're not that bad because Tucker Carlson was too much for them. Like, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's like, so they still have their like threshold of like where their stances are. And it's like, yeah, they're all biased. You know what I like about Joe, which I know a lot of people like his show, obviously, but I like that, like, if he doesn't understand something or if he questions you, like, he doesn't just take, like, these guys are experts in their field that he interviews,
mm-hmm.
and he still questions them if he has
Oh,
different opinions, which I love, you know?
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like normally have somebody on your podcast and they just like suck their dick the whole time, you know? So that was just a side note of why I like Joe's. But
I know
yeah,
what you mean, yeah. And then that was just interesting. And just like the stuff that he was saying was just so wild. Like how the stuff is still classified, like with JFK and 9/11. So if that's happening, then what else is happening? You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just
there's too much shit that comes out that's like, I guess, proves like stuff always comes out after the fact, like COVID, right? Like all this stuff came out after the fact that there's concerns with, you know, health issues and masks didn't really work and all this. And it's like, and you just start to like put the pieces together afterwards. And you're like, if they would lie about that shit in front of everybody at a time like that, like, why wouldn't they do other stuff?
yeah. And it's like, oh, Pfizer made how much money? Pfizer sponsors who now? Oh,
Ugh.
Pfizer sponsors the news.
Well, and then all of the, like, this was at the time, like, all the riots were going on. And it was like, you guys can riot, but like, try to keep 6 feet away. Dude, it was like
Yeah.
thousands of people just huddled together and they were doing shit. But yet, like, all of these small businesses closed down. But then the large businesses, like, they were fine. They could all stay open. It was just like
Mm-hmm.
this whole, it just makes you realize that the government's not for the people, really, you know? Like when you get up to that upper level, I think your local government probably is, but like when you start getting up that high, man, it's bad. It's
Dude,
bad.
especially when people can make so much. Oh man. So I remember when me and Katrina like first started dating. She would talk, not like randomly, but she would bring up a lobbyist a lot. I remember being like, oh yeah, like that's weird, like that's dumb. But then just
Yeah,
like the more and more, I'm like, wait, that's like the craziest shit ever.
it's insane.
I'm
Dude,
like, wait, that's a bribe.
there's no way it's not fucking corrupt. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't understand how people get so blinded by like they the media says one thing and it's just a headline and they're like that's fucking it. That's fucking it. Well, and you'll hear. I was listening to a clip of Gavin Newsom, who's California's governor. People are
Yeah.
saying he's going to be appointed as the presidential candidate once Biden is like gone, which
Uh,
is pretty soon, probably. But he'll like say a lie, but then he'll be like, and that's a fact. That is a fact. That's fact. And it's like, it's not.
mm,
But like, he's so emphatic about it that people without a brain are like, I mean, he seemed pretty serious that that
uh,
was a fact. He's probably right, you know? And
yeah.
it's just that whole thing is annoying. But on a lighter note, did you see Afro Man did Because I Got High remix for Hunter Biden?
No.
Oh, dude, I wonder if I can text this to you right now.
No, I haven't heard of that. That sounds amazing,
Oh,
though.
are you still with me?
Yep.
Dude, I just saw this come across this morning. It was so funny. But it also kind of just reinforced for me like the state of the like society, right? Like
hmm
just what a joke everything is right now.
Yeah, it really is kind of a joke.
But it's
There's just
also
so
like terrifying potentially.
yeah. There's just blatant corruption and just like lying, like right in front of your face, and it's just like, yep, deal with it.
Yeah.
Like do something.
And well, and that's what it is, right? There and I think the lack of transparency and the blatant lying are making it worse, right? Have you seen any of the clips of what's the press secretary's name? I can't remember what
Oh,
her
the
name
one
is.
that said, no, I've heard she's not doing super
She's
well.
she's god awful, dude. She's terrible. But it's comedy. It's like this if you were a different country, like there's no like of course Putin is gonna not like Donald Trump and he's gonna like Biden because he can
Right.
toy with us when these guys are in power. Like he's like, I'm not afraid of you guys. With Trump, he's like, I don't know. And then the media spins that as like, see, Trump's a wild card. Even Putin's scared of him.
Yeah.
Don't you want that? Like, I don't
No,
know.
that's true. Yeah. That is true, true, true. That is a good point.
It's getting too frustrated for an evening conversation, but
No, but I mean, it's a good thing to get frustrated over. Just the state of things seeming just so odd and maybe not in a good spot either.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
really frustrating.
So, I mean, I think I've hit most of my points on this topic. So,
Yes, and I mean, just speaking of governments, I've been not focusing less on big governments, but I mean, I hear stuff obviously, but I don't really seek it out unless it
sure.
has anything to do with like weed laws or some other stuff. Um,
They are
but I've
declassifying
been
that.
thinking, yes, I saw that. That's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
Like,
Whoop, whoop.
okay.
Now, not the
Yeah, and
same as
I've just been.
heroin. All right, anyways,
Yeah,
I digress.
I've brought up some. I think on the first, just second podcast,
Mm-hmm.
but just kind of becoming a local pro. I feel like I want that to be kind of one of my goals. It's something just to aim towards. And
When you say pro, are you thinking like very like specific or like
no,
because
more like just like your business is just popular around town or like what you do, like
sure,
how people know like um Hodge Construction or like Poly Eyes. It's like maybe not to that like scale, but just something like that. Where you're like, oh, okay, I know that thing.
yeah. No, I was thinking about this. Like for me, like I like engineering, right? But like I have so many other interests outside of that. But if we just stay in the construction world, like I want somebody to be able to call me or to tell their buddy, like, I don't know if Nick can help you with this or not, but like, he's your guy. Like, he'll figure it out for you. Like, that's what I want, right? Like, I think that's kind of what you're talking about too. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
really
and just
matter what the question is. You can either answer it or you're going to be able to point them in the right direction or help them find the answer. And
yes,
it's that trusted source within the community, which I love that idea. I love that idea. And I think that's the only way, like that's the best form of advertising and marketing is word of mouth, right? And
yeah,
that's what I've based my whole business on. Like I don't have a website yet. Um, we don't do any form of social media or marketing. Like it's solely been just word of mouth referrals, going to different like engineer meetups or engineer meetings, right? And just being present within that community, contributing, which is something that's very out of my comfort zone. But the
mm,
importance of it, and to you, whether it's egotistical or not, like I want to be the guy, but not be the guy. Like I want to be the guy because I help that many people. You know what I mean?
no, right.
Because you've earned that right.
Yeah, and I kind of started to think about that because at my job there's probably like 50 employees, and it's spread out,
Hmm.
and there's different like a buildings and warehouses and stuff. But I mostly just go like just make the rounds, and at all my jobs I mostly just kind of will get to know just everyone pretty well and have a pretty good relationship,
Hmm.
and it would just be fun and to yeah, just to be able to help people with to obviously like what they're looking for, and then having the podcast to kind of help with that as well,
Oh,
like having those
100%.
merge into one thing. Yeah, then just being just having just a lot of connections around town, and just knowing a lot of business owners and random townies and just stuff. And just
Well,
no, it's
it's cool.
went on.
Well, it's cool, man, right? Because like like guys that aren't even that old, but that have just been around and do a bunch of shit, like wherever you go with them, like they seem to know somebody, right? Or somebody says hi to them, or they're a regular here, or whatever. And it's like I love that, you know? Like there's not an arrogance about it. You've always been, I would say that was like one thing you always had was it didn't matter like what group growing up we were hanging out with. Like it was such an easy fit in. Like you could just adapt to like any group of friends, but there wasn't a conscious effort to really adapt, or it at least didn't appear that way. It was just you're just being
No,
yourself. Like you're a very natural, easygoing, easy to be around person and enjoyable to be around.
yeah. So I want to like lean into that more business wise, and think of that as more of a business skill than just a thing that's like, oh yeah, that's cool, like, you know what I mean, and
It's
just using that to lean into more for
being
business.
being in business, it is a lot about who you know, right? And
Yeah.
it's not all about who you know, like that whole saying, but if you know the right people and you treat people the right way, they're going to do right by you almost every single time. So
Right.
some of those relationships take longer than others to build, but yeah, I mean, I think for me, I've started to kind of lean into that, and you've helped me out with that, like bringing the podcast and spearheading that to start because this is not in my comfort zone to do this, but it's something I feel like I've been like, where you get a feeling and it's like something you've been thinking about for a long time, and it's like way deep down, you're like, "Ah, I feel like I should do it. I don't really want to do it, but I don't really know why I don't want to do it."
Oh
you
yeah.
know? And I'm that way with social media too. So I do want to I do think we could do like a podcast series on helping me create content and go in a
Ooh,
direction, right? Because like I know I want to, I have some ideas, but I don't want to just do it, but I feel like I need to have some of that just do it, but also let's start to build a plan around it, right?
that's
Um,
fun. I
so I
really
think we
like
could do
that.
that. I was thinking about that. But yeah, dude, I love
Yeah.
that. I've been wanting to get, we're moving now, but before that, I was thinking like, should I join like the local like town government in some way or run for a position or something, right? Just to get involved in the community, right? And help
Yeah.
out the community and know the people that live there and all that kind of stuff.
Ooh,
I,
sorry, not to interrupt. What
right?
is there anything that you could do like with your business? Volunteer to design like something for the community that wouldn't be crazy hard, like that wouldn't take up like a month. You know what I mean? Of your
Sure.
time.
I would love to. I did that. So when I was working at CTL previously, I did that for Ash's school. Like they had some like three-tiered outdoor pergola, and I engineered that for free for them, which was cool, man. I mean, it feels good to like contribute. Man, I've donated money here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Money doesn't feel the same as like what doing that
Yeah.
other job did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But like I know it's doing right. Like I know one of them I donated. It was only like a couple $100, um, but it allowed a bunch of kids who couldn't afford to go on like a field trip. And so
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah.
that feels good, right? But there's
Yeah.
something about like actually contributing to something that's standing, you know, especially in my line of work for sure. So I would love to do more of that kind of stuff.
I feel like that would just be a good way to get good publicity and just
Sure.
help out at the same time. So ultimate win.
So
Yeah. So,
let's stay on that topic. Like how do you step into that role, right? As being the local pro. Is it cast a wide net and be everywhere or be so good at what you do that they can't deny you that you're the guy at that thing?
um, I think it just kind of. I think you just kind of picking. Well, work wise, I think you just pick like a business or maybe even a niche
Mhm.
and just kind of start there. Then just kind of start in that network.
Yeah.
And then socially wise, just maybe whenever you're out and about, just even being more friendly, it's introducing yourself, becoming a regular at a spot and just trying to like remember people's name like that kind of stuff, even if it sounds cheesy.
Dude,
And
that's go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
then just doing things like since I want to do videos, like seeing if I could volunteer to do a video for the farmers market, and I'll be out
Hmm.
there just doing it.
Mhm.
Then just be around, just type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, just being around, being friendly,
Yeah.
but within, but not like fake intent, but just if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. It makes a lot of sense. Have you read the book Delivering Happiness? It's
Yes.
by Tony Heish or whatever. It was a great book, and I read that probably 6 months ago, thinking about my business and like, what do I want our foundation to be? And like, that book just has stuck with me as far as like the level of service, right? But when you provide that level of service, it's like, it doesn't matter if I'm working on a job that's $50,000 or $500. Like, I treat that job and those people the same way. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've gotten a lot of referrals. Like, some of the biggest projects not the biggest, but like up there, like medium to largest projects I've worked on have come through like either a series of referrals that all started with like a job that was like $1,000 or less. And you just treat them
Mm-hmm.
right because you don't know who they know, right? People talk.
Yeah.
And while, yes, there's some of this like do a good job because it could lead to other jobs, right? But who
Yeah.
really cares? You're still treating them with respect. Like they know when you're being fake and trying to sell them versus if you're
Yeah.
just genuine and you're trying to help them out. There's a lot of engineers that are too busy and won't do the small jobs. And it's one thing that I always want to keep doing, even as we grow and get bigger, because there's such a need. And I feel like it's my way of giving back to like the community, right? Helping the community out, which is part of the responsibility of an engineer.
Yeah. Yes. And just, so I like that a lot. And just being, I mean, not being different, but just being nice and going out of your way to just give stuff away really without asking.
Yeah,
Like, did you hear
100%.
the story where uh, Gary V with like the wine and the jersey, and he got the big referral?
Uh-uh.
So basically, I think this one was when he was doing his wine stuff only. He had a client that he knew, like the Broncos or somebody. So he had someone from the store send him like a jersey signed by John Elway. Been just like a hey, thanks for ordering our wine, and I heard you like the Broncos, so we wanted to get you this. And then that customer's friend messaged Gary and was like, hey, I heard you helped out my buddy. Like that was a cool move. I'd like to order like 10 crates of wine or something crazy,
Yeah.
and then with like P.S. I like the Knicks, like smiley face or something like that,
That's
and
awesome.
just yeah, just doing just that kind of stuff, and just always choosing at least like one project to do per year for like a smaller company for free. Just always.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so I feel like that would just be a good.
That's a good idea.
Ooh, for almost having. I'm trying to think for quote where it's like your company's value is almost based on like good faith or goodwill from
Yeah.
people, but then actual like numbers too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, for sure. I mean, there is a portion of that, right? When you look on Apple's balance sheet, right, there's a portion that's called goodwill, right? And it's what's the brand worth? That's all it is. It's an arbitrary number that they probably use some formula to come up with it. But what do you want your brand to be, right? That goes on the business side, but also the personal side. Now, for me, I don't like having multiple personalities, so my business has the same values that I do, right? And I try to hire based on those values. And it's actually been some like I've never gotten my company's values on paper, and I feel like I need to do that like sooner rather than later.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
what do we
no,
really
everyone's
stand for? You know, what do we want to be
yeah.
known as locally?
That's always a good question to ask. Like who and what are we? What is this?
Dude, you know what's one thing I was thinking about? So when we were getting started with the podcast, I was like, fuck, what do we talk about? Like I don't want it to be lame, I don't want it to be this, that, right? And we've only been
Mm-hmm.
really thinking about topics maybe for like a couple weeks, like really, since we
Mm-hmm.
started recording. And I just find myself, a thought will pop in my head, and I'm already getting the habit of like just put it into like my notes on my phone, right? Like, and
Yeah.
I've got this whole list of like podcast topics. And it's so interesting because when I first started, it took me a while to come up with like the first five or six. And then every day I just was make a conscious effort, right?
Yeah,
I'm ex I'm excited for where this podcast is going to go and how we're going to evolve. And it's going to be
I know.
fun to
Me
go back
too.
to
Me too.
these
It's been
episodes and
fun,
see where we
and
started.
just this is the least I've prepared, honestly. Like it's just a few notes,
Oh yeah, that's all I did.
but
I
like
love it.
and it just kind of happened that way because I have notes on Chat GPT because to start I just open it up and just ramble for like 30 seconds, just thoughts, just whatever. But
Yeah.
then I say, can you put this into like some sort of like note form? And then it does that. And then I just kind of look over those, and then I just have like my other notes too.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even think about that.
But yeah, it's just nice because you know how I like. It's just nice to just get all those thoughts just into a thing, and it just can
Oh yeah.
do so helpful.
Oh yeah. Dude, that's awesome. I
Just a big long run-on sentence.
That's awesome though because I struggle with like writing and keeping up with my brain. So like my brain's moving a lot faster than I
Oh
can
yeah.
write. And then I feel like I'm losing thoughts as I'm writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you
Yeah.
use do you use voice recordings on your phone?
I mostly use my notes, but I do a lot of reminders.
Mm,
A
yeah.
bunch of reminders of voice recordings.
So I do a ton because like I'll be out driving a lot of times. Like if I'm driving up to Breck for work and
Oh
it's like
yeah.
I got 3 hours, right? So I'll either be listening to a podcast or listening to music or whatever. And I'll just hit voice record and I'll record and you can just like kind of ramble, right? And you can fix your thoughts as you're talking. Like I talk through solutions like to myself kind of.
No, yeah. I've been doing that more in a video form, just some, but
Yeah.
I do like to do that. I think I would do it more, but my truck is just loud at work. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure how, but I can still just do it anyways. I guess.
That's awesome. I mean, you could, right? And then you could like re-record it later at home or something if you had something good in there.
But
But
there is lots of times where I'll just go, just no sound sometimes, and just drive and think about
I do it.
uh
Dude,
topics.
I've been recently, man. I've just had this itch to start that coffee and classics business
Yeah.
just because I love cars so much, you know, like the
Oh,
old school
yeah.
cars. And it just seems so fun. Like, I don't know if the business would pencil out from a numbers standpoint, but that would be so enjoyable.
Or could you do something with cars and coffee, where it's something with people's cars, like they have the cars and you can get coffee. Is there something
I,
there? I don't know.
I've thought about doing something with like Frankie. Like, once I can get her into like a booster seat because like she loves going fast, like in
Oh
cars.
yeah, yeah.
Like, windows down. She wants me to buy a convertible really bad. She loves it, which is super exciting for me. So there's like, I've thought about creating kind of a social media persona, like recording those videos, like kind of
Okay.
reviewing cars with Frankie, but also getting like a kid's input, like keeping it light and fun,
Uh,
you know?
yeah, yeah,
Not like, oh, it seems like it's slipping a little bit between three and four, but you'll get that in these 83. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah.
so, yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure that's a fun car.
I really was expecting more out of this $250,000. It's like, guys, what are we doing here? No, but
Yeah.
I thought that would be fun, and like if I could build a small social that I could partner up with like local dealerships and do some stuff that way too. I think would be
hmm
like fun. Local car, like people just that fucking like cars locally, right? And like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah. I still
Like
have,
meet up?
yeah, and sorry, keep interrupting, but I'm pretty sure I still have a big list of car dealerships in Denver, just like a
Oh
full page
yeah.
of
Yeah,
all
you
like
got a
exotic.
Rolodex, dude.
Yeah, the Rolodex. I got you. Oh yeah, local.
But that came full
Let's go.
circle. That was awesome.
Oh yeah,
Oh, dude. Well,
yeah,
this is a good podcast. I mean, we can keep
yeah,
rolling if you want to, but I do think this is a good time to cut it.
yeah. This is good. Everything else will probably just be on a decline.
Which we can edit that out if you want to.
Yeah, true.
Do you watching? Do you watch much hockey?
No, every time it's on TV and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is cool. I'm like, that's a sweet sport.
It is, man. And
Oh,
and
we
like
can have ESPN FC have an extra time at the end of the episodes where they just answer questions. We could do that at the end of the podcast too, where it just shifts to just like random stuff for
yeah,
just like
that
what we're up to or something like you just did.
yeah,
Just a thought.
I would love that. I would love that.
Okay, cool. But
Yeah.
no, but my good friend from work, he's a big hockey fan, so I follow through him some.
Is he a
But I know,
Blackhawks
like,
fan?
no, he's a Pittsburgh Panthers fan. No, Florida Panthers fan. Yeah, he's
I
from
was like
Florida.
I was like the Penguins, Pittsburgh Penguins, or the Florida Panthers.
I like McDavid.
Oh, there you go, McDavid, McKinnon. Yeah, the
Uh,
Avs are fucking stacked right
yeah,
now, and
the
their
young kid
goalies.
from the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I dude, when we moved out here, like I liked hockey in college. I hated
Mm-hmm.
Blackhawks fans. Like I'm like the college kid, like Blackhawks fans that wore like Blackhawks jerseys to the
Yeah,
bar, but
that's
like
good.
didn't really know anything about hockey. But then moving out here, like we went to a couple games with some friends, and it was like, this is so much fun. Like going to games, and so I, ever since then, I got hooked and been a huge Avs fan. And they sucked when we first moved out here, but they've been good, really good lately.
Yeah, 'cause
So
I know they wanted it obviously, but how they get so good? Like, did they make changes or like have a good draft, or I don't know how that really works. You know what I mean?
yeah, they've done a really good job acquiring players, but like they've drafted super well. Like when they were bad, they hit everything. Like their players are awesome, and then they've done a really good job of bringing in complementary players to fit, like just team building. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's been good. I haven't watched any NBA this year, but I've been trying to catch some of the playoffs. The fucking Nuggets are fun to watch again.
So good.
Couple
They're
buzzer
so
beaters.
good. Yeah, they just ball. Like they're just better than everybody. It's like that's the only
Yeah,
way. They're just better.
they
They
got
just beat.
they got LeBron talking about it's just basketball, man. It's just basketball, and it's like, oh, he's done.
No, he's playing too well. I hope he comes back.
He
I
will.
mean, he will come back.
He's
If they
gonna
make
play with.
him
He's got to play with
okay,
Bronny.
yeah. And then I heard that they might get that the Lakers want to get Trey Young or Mitchell, Donovan
Ooh,
Mitchell.
what if LeBron goes back to Cleveland to play with Donovan Mitchell? Because he's LeBron's a free agent.
Yeah, but I feel like he got everything. Because LA, like they're not close to a championship, but like I feel like they're two players away from being like right in the mix.
Yeah, but I feel like they always are.
Exactly. But it's just been LeBron, AD, and some guys.
AD is so disappointing.
Dude, he's
Like,
bought out this year though. Like this is the best season though. Like
I
he's been
know, but
balling out.
like, dude, how do you score
I know.
32 point? Well, but that's a real thing. That's just stats. You can't lie about
Which
that.
one?
Like in this series, he'd dominate all game long and then just disappear in the fourth quarter, and they lose
No,
by
okay.
two.
Okay, that's fair. Offensively, but defensively, he was solid the whole game.
hasn't
I think
was
that's
he
it's
the
just them two. I think he gets tired.
yeah, dude, their team's trash.
Right? Like they really don't have a good team. They have those two and D'Lo, who is so inconsistent, and Austin Reeves and Hashimura. Like,
I
stop.
mean, I'm definitely not a LeBron hater. I love watching, like, I would love LeBron to win another championship. I just am like,
Yeah,
I don't like AD, I don't think.
yeah, he.
He doesn't, every time I watch him, he just sucks. But then everybody's
I know.
like,
It's like he's.
I don't even know how else to say
Another bad game again. Oh, he had 28, 20 last game.
it.
Yeah, every time I watch him, he sucks. that's that's so fair.
I will caveat that comment with I've probably watched 35 viewing minutes of the Lakers
Uh,
NBA basketball. It's just
okay.
yeah. No, I'm happy
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they're happy for them.
If LeBron averaged 25, 7, and 7 this year, then he had like the most fourth quarter points. Like he was like balling.
Dude, I hope he plays. Like I hope his body holds up and I hope he can play until he's like upper 40s. I really think
That
he could average 25 and 8 for the next 5 years if he wanted to. Like
and like
that's insane.
it's insane, and it's gonna be like it's gonna suck when he isn't playing. I think you're gonna look back like, oh damn, like his whole career, like all the highlights, and just made the finals 9 straight times. I think like that alone is crazy.
Dude, we have gotten so used to his greatness. Like it like think about I compare him with like Steph Curry. LeBron could carry a team single-handedly to a championship. Steph cannot do that. Like Steph's a great player, but like he would need to score like 70
Yeah,
points a game, you know? And we just get so numb. And LeBron's kind of like he's just different off the court. Like he's just weird.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
when you look at the past like greats, that's what everybody's knock on LeBron is like he doesn't have that killer instinct like Kobe or MJ and all this. And it's like those guys are like five people out of the entire universe of basketball. Like
But yeah,
this guy has been playing in the NBA longer than for more than half of his life.
yeah, and he never like gotten in trouble off the court like once ever.
Yeah, he took a
It was
car
all
in
very,
high
very
school.
fair.
Wash your hands. He's been with the same woman. He doesn't have a bunch of baby mamas. Like this dude has been
Yeah,
like and then he's one of the best businessmen in the NBA. Like I don't know, like people just love to hate on him because he's really good, which I get it, but
yeah. Then
I
like he got into politics, which like pe which some people which some people won't like.
yeah, he should just shut up and dribble.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Just like with that whole thing, he'll just
Now,
yeah.
I will say there are some athletes that can speak on like politics and like that shit, and you're like, okay, you're definitely educated. Maybe I don't agree with your opinion, but like there's thought behind it. I don't necessarily think any of LeBron's points came off as like, at least they didn't come off as like overly educated. Like,
Yeah, I feel
who's the UFC? Oh, Sean Strickland. He's like very political now,
like,
and like in like a very like conservative way. And I agree with a lot of his points, but also some of them are just like kind of preposterous. Like it's too much. You know? Like I don't want to hear your takes on politics. I just want to hear you like fucking fight, like talk about fighting. You know? Dude, I even get that. Like
yeah,
I'm an
but I
engineer.
feel who like with those. Yeah, I feel like you got to as the listener, you have to know that that's not their first thing.
Oh, 100%.
if that makes sense. Where
Yeah.
some people freak out if a comedian says something about a sport that they don't know that well. It's like that's not their main thing. They don't judge them on that, knowing that information as well as you do, if that makes
Well, dude,
sense.
and it's
Also, we're in extra time, but my phone might die in the next 2 minutes or so. Just enough.
okay. So the last thing I would say to that is like 20 years ago, like a headline probably gets printed in the newspaper, and then when the next day's newspaper comes out, everybody forgets about it. That shit, those days are like gone. Like with social media and all this shit, like there's like cycles and they just revolve. Like that video clip never goes away. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and
20,
it's wild, and it's scary too, because some things there's so much stuff that some things do go away, but then if someone chooses, they can bring them back up whenever to use them against you.
yeah, 10 years from now or whenever.
Yeah,
It's
remember what you
like,
said?
remember what you said when you were 16 drunk at a house party? It's like, I probably know. Like, I don't remember that. Like, I'm 35. What the fuck is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and like you've changed then too. Like that's not who you are now.
Oh, Jesse, people don't change, okay? People can't
Yeah,
change.
like no, yeah, like no, people don't grow and learn new things. And even like with some things, like that's the kind of how things. Like not to say like that's just how things were back then, but like with some things that aren't even necessarily like bad, but would just seem kind of weird now. But back then it was just fine. Like I think of playing like Smear the Queer.
Dude, I said that to the kids and they started saying it, and Ash freaked out. She's like, "You can't say that." I'm like, "It's just a gay." Like, we know they're not actually gay. Like, it's just funny.
Yeah, but even just the whole phrase,
Yeah.
like just the whole like Smear the Queer, like which yeah, no, like I wouldn't, like I'm not offended, but it would that didn't age well. You know what I mean? Or like it just, yeah,
Well,
it's
dude,
not
you
not
remember,
not
like,
really
we used to
just.
say, like, dude, that's fucking gay all the time.
Oh
And
yeah,
it
yeah.
was,
I'd say that before,
or,
like probably within like 10 years, maybe.
or that's retarded. Like, we would say that shit all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
Now it's like, hey, my second cousin who I've never fucking met in my life is half retarded, so that's offensive to me.
yeah,
And I'm like, fuck
yeah. I'll
you.
drop an
My,
R sometimes if I need to get a point across, but that's about it.
yeah, dude, I'll do it just to rile people up sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's, yeah, it's like
Just see their reaction.
yeah, but
Dude, I will
yeah,
say, like, if you want to be, like, if I was a comedian, I think I would have a burner account that was like just trolls. Like, I would just troll people
also,
all day long. But like,
or you, yeah, or do it out yourself if you're the comedian. Fuck it.
oh, I feel like it'd be funny if you were like had a comedian account, but then you also had like a comedian parody account, but it was just you're running both of them.
Yeah, just chill. Yeah. All right, sorry, yeah, I was just checking me. Just
No, you're good.
checking
You're good.
my percent.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
and so my next moves are just real quick. Just I needed accountability. Is I need to just get some stuff filmed for my video stuff. Yeah. So next time we get together, ask to see what I've done,
Okay. I am
please.
going to next, we're going to record on Tuesdays, regardless.
Yes.
Afternoons are
Like,
easier for me, but if we can't make afternoons work late at night, but it's Tuesdays.
I
That'll
like
help
it.
me out. Then it's like we know like we're getting it done on Tuesday regardless.
Yep, I just put it in the schedule for the whole month moving forward.
Sweet.
Tuesdays.
Um and then I think next Tuesday I want to do Jesse's episode.
Oh, okay.
And we could do mine at the same time if you wanted to, or we could wait till the
Oh, like
following Tuesday.
oh, do you mean like kind of our intros thing? They're like, what
Yep,
do you mean?
yep, yeah, yeah.
Oh, faux. Okay, what?
I
Okay, yeah.
think
I think
I
that's
feel
nice
really
because
good.
I've been practicing just talking, just saying it more. So I'm just
Yeah,
more like, oh, this and this and this.
no,
So
it'll be good. I'll
there's
help facilitate with some like questions and shit too. Like, so that'll be
okay,
good.
yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be like
So
more of like a natural conversation.
yeah, that sounds fun, and will just be fun to feel like I'm on like in a podcast with someone I don't know in that way. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
for sure, for sure. Yeah, somebody who's read your Wikipedia pretty in depth, but like doesn't know all the details.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah. What I need to do is just start getting my stuff just going.
dude, I'm the same way. I got like too much going and not enough other stuff going too. But
Yes. And then after we're going on vacation May 17th, and when we
okay,
get back, that's when Katrina is going to start like doing her side business stuff and get into that. So I think
nice.
I'll be just like I think that will be like kind of just really what I'm about like hard. I think I'm
I
going to
love it.
lean even a lot more. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm looking
that's awesome.
forward to it.
That's
All
awesome,
right.
man.
Well, yes, sir. Well, I'm gonna go have a snack and get in bed. Watch X-Men 2. I'm doing the X-Men rewatch for
Nice.
Deadpool in July. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, this was
Marshall
our
got
best
a
episode.
Marshall got an Avengers water bottle today. He's pretty pumped about it. He's
Oh,
super into Iron Man right now.
oh, okay, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee, I've been loving all of it. And
Yeah.
there's Captain Marvel book he likes.
There you go.
Before bed, but yeah, and Spider-Man always and Groot are the big ones.
Gru? I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, Baby Groot, he loves them. Groot book. Yeah, that's the book. Oh, it's night Groot is before bed.
Later, buddy.
But I might be dying, so I'm.
You back?
Yep.
Oh, back like we never left.
I'm gonna pee. So this has been our best recording. The
Yeah,
demo
that was good.
tapes.
That was good. Demo
Yes, it
tapes.
was.
Episode 3 is a wrap.
Yes, sir. Wrap. Peace, man. Love ya.
Later. Love you, bro.